Welcome back to your one-stop channel for coin values, history, and hidden gems from your pocket change. Today, we're diving deep into the 1961 Liberty USA 1-cent coin, also known as the 1961 Lincoln cent. Is it just an old penny, or could it be worth more than face value? Let's find out together. The 1961 US 1-cent coin features the iconic Lincoln design, introduced in 1909 to commemorate President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. On the obverse side, we see Lincoln's bust facing right, the word Liberty to the left, and the date 1961 on the right. If your coin has a small letter D under the date, it was minted in Denver. No letter. That means it came from Philadelphia. On the reverse, we find the Lincoln Memorial, flanked by the words 1 cent, United States of America, and above it, the motto, E pluribus unum. In 1961, the United States was entering a decade of change, the space race, civil rights movement, and the beginning of JFK's presidency. But what about coins? The U.S. Mint produced billions of Lincoln cents that year. Philadelphia struck over 753 million coins. Denver produced over 1.75 billion coins. This means most 1961 cents are common in circulated condition, but some are still prized by collectors. So, what determines the value of your 1961 penny? It's all about condition. If your coin has heavy wear, scratches, or corrosion, it's likely worth just 1 cent. Light wear and clear details, it might go for 2 to 5 cents. Brilliant uncirculated, BU, or mint state condition, that's where the value climbs. Keep your eyes peeled. Some 1961 Lincoln cents come with error varieties, and those can be worth real money. Look for doubling in the word Liberty or the date 1961. Coins that are misaligned can be worth $10 to $50 or more, depending on severity. Small die crack between the B and E in Liberty usually sells for a few dollars. Always use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to inspect your coins closely. Let's take a look at what collectors are actually paying for these coins online. In 2025, a 1961 D in MS66 red condition sold for $45 at auction. 1961 no mint mark penny in MS65 red fetched $25. Common circulated coins? Still just around 1 to 3 cents unless there's an error. While most 1961 pennies aren't rare, finding a high-grade or error coin can make it a valuable treasure. Want to start collecting or selling 1961 Lincoln cents? Here are a few tips. Store your best coins in protective flips or capsules. Don't clean your coins. It lowers their value. Look for full mint luster and sharp details when searching. Get your rare-looking coins graded by NGC or PCGS if you think they're valuable. There you have it. Your 1961 Liberty Lincoln cent may be common, but in the right condition or with the right error, it could be a hidden gem in your collection. The story of the 1961 Liberty USA 1-cent coin begins much earlier, all the way back in 1909. That was the year the U.S. Mint first introduced the Lincoln cent, replacing the Indian head penny. It marked the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, and it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. Fast forward to 1961, and the Lincoln cent had already become an everyday coin in American pockets. But the times were changing. The year 1961 ** was part of a very important era in American history. John F. Kennedy ** had just become President of the United States. The Cold War was intensifying. The civil rights movement was gaining momentum. The U.S. was entering the space race with the Soviet Union. In this backdrop of political tension, scientific ambition, and social change, the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia and Denver were hard at work producing billions of Lincoln cents to support the growing economy. In fact, the Philadelphia Mint struck 753, 345, 000 coins with no mint mark. The Denver Mint produced an astonishing 753, 266, 700 coins, marked with a small D beneath the date. Together, that's over 2.5 billion Lincoln cents minted in just 1 year, making the 1961 penny one of the most common coins of its time. But even with such high mintage, these coins hold historical value. They remind us of an America standing at the crossroads of old traditions and new beginnings, and of a time when even a single penny had more purchasing power than it does today. The coin itself still carried the same design introduced decades earlier. Abraham Lincoln ** on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner, and starting from 1959, the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, replacing the original wheat ears. This memorial reverse design, created by Frank Gasparo, was meant to honor Lincoln's legacy even further, showing the actual building in Washington, D.C. where his statue is housed. This design remained on the penny until 2008, making the 1961 Lincoln Memorial Cent part of a 50-year legacy in U.S. coinage. So, while a 1961 penny might not be rare in itself, it's a tiny time capsule from a turning point in American history. A time of hope, change, and new leadership. And that makes it more than just a coin. It makes it a piece of history you can hold in your hand. Today, we're taking a deep dive into a coin you might still find lying around. The 1976 Liberty USA 1-cent coin, also known as the 1976 Lincoln cent. Is it just a regular penny? Or could it be worth more than face value? Let's find out. Now let's rewind to the year 1976, a historic time for the United States. The nation was celebrating its bicentennial, marking 200 years of independence. While special designs were made for quarters, half dollars, and dollar coins that year, the Lincoln cent kept its classic look. That's right, the obverse, front, of the 1976 penny still features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner way back in 1909. The word Liberty is inscribed to the left, the year 1976 to the right, and the motto "In God We Trust" curves above his head. Flip the coin, and you'll see the Lincoln Memorial, introduced in 1959 to celebrate Lincoln's 150th birthday. This reverse was designed by Frank Gasparo, and if you look closely with a magnifying glass, you might even see the tiny statue of Lincoln sitting between the columns. Above the memorial is United States of America, below is the denomination 1 cent, and between the two you'll find E pluribus unum, which means out of many one, 1976. These Lincoln cents were minted in Philadelphia ***, with no mint marked Denver ***, marked with a D, and San Francisco ***, marked with an S, but only for proof coins, not for general circulation. So, if you have a 1976 penny with no mint mark, it came from Philadelphia. A D? That's from Denver. But if you find one with an S, and it's mirror-like, congratulations! You may be holding a proof coin. Unlike today's pennies, which are mostly made of zinc, the 1976 Lincoln cent was made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. That gives it a reddish-brown tone, and more importantly, the copper content alone makes these coins worth more than 1 cent in metal value. But wait, it's illegal to melt pennies for metal, so their true collectible value depends on condition and rarity. Oh, check your change. That shiny 1976 penny might be more than just pocket fluff. Are there any rare 1976 penny errors to look for? Yes. Keep your eyes open for doubling of the date or the word Liberty. When part of the design is missing, small die break between the letters B and E in Liberty. These error coins can bring in $10 to $100 or more, depending on the severity and condition. So next time you see a 1976 penny in your pocket or coin jar, don't toss it aside just yet. It might be a small piece of copper history. The story of the 1976 Liberty USA 1-cent coin begins long before the coin was struck. In fact, it dates back to 1909, when the Lincoln cent was first introduced to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, the first real person to appear on a regular U.S. coin. The coin's obverse design, showing Lincoln's right-facing portrait, was created by Victor David Brenner, a Lithuanian-American engraver whose initials, VDB, appeared briefly on the 1909 version before controversy led to their temporary removal. Now, fast forward to 1976. This was a historic year for the United States. The country was celebrating its bicentennial, marking 200 years of independence since the Declaration of Independence in 1776. It was a time of national pride, patriotic celebrations, and special coin releases. During this patriotic year, the U.S. Mint produced commemorative bicentennial designs for the quarter dollar, half dollar, and Eisenhower dollar, each featuring unique reverse artwork with a dual date 1776-1976. But the Lincoln cent, interestingly, was not given a special bicentennial design. The reason? The cent had only recently undergone a reverse change in 1959, when the U.S. Mint replaced the original wheat stock design with the Lincoln Memorial to celebrate Lincoln's 150th birthday. That reverse, created by Frank Gasparo, remained in place throughout 1976 and beyond. Although the 1976 Lincoln penny didn't receive a commemorative reverse, it remains a snapshot of the era. Made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, the coin is a symbol of both tradition and continuity in American coinage. At the time, inflation was rising and copper prices were increasing, which would eventually lead to a major composition change in 1982, when the mint switched to a mostly zinc planchet. During 1976, billions of Lincoln cents were struck at the Philadelphia and Denver mints for circulation. Meanwhile, the San Francisco Mint produced special proof versions for collectors. Today, the 1976 Lincoln cent remains a common but important coin, reflecting America's sense of identity and historical pride during one of its most celebrated years. Liberty USA 1-cent coins from the year 1984 ***. How much are they worth today in circulated condition? Could one of them be hiding in your drawer, worth more than face value? Let's find out. The 1984 Liberty 1-cent coin is part of the Lincoln cent series, one of the most iconic coins in U.S. history. First introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, this coin has remained in circulation for over a century. By 1984, the penny had undergone a major change in its composition. Since 1982, the U.S. Mint switched from a 95% copper composition to a cheaper zinc core with a thin copper coating due to rising metal costs. That means most 1984 cents are made of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. Let's take a closer look at the design. On the obverse, we have the familiar bust of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. Above his head, you'll see the word Liberty, which is why it's often called the Liberty cent. The date, 1984, is struck to the right. On the reverse, we see the Lincoln Memorial, which was introduced in 1959 to replace the original wheat design. Look closely, and you'll even spot a tiny image of Lincoln seated inside the memorial. Pretty cool for such a small coin. Now, there were 3 U.S. mints that produced these coins in no mint mark equals Philadelphia D equals Denver S equals San Francisco, proof coins only. 1984 was a big year for penny production. Here are the mintage numbers: Philadelphia, no mint mark, asterisk asterisk, 8.15 billion coins Denver, D mint mark, asterisk asterisk, 6.36 billion coins San Francisco proof, S, asterisk asterisk, 3.3 million coins. That's over 14 billion pennies made in total. So yes, these coins are common, especially in circulated condition. Alright, let's talk money. How much is a 1984 Liberty 1-cent coin worth in circulated condition? Here's where things get exciting. If you're lucky enough to find a 1984 double die obverse, DDO, penny, congratulations. You might be holding a valuable coin. This error happens when the coin's die was doubled during production, causing a doubling effect, especially visible on Lincoln's ear, eye, and jawline, so always check Lincoln's ear closely. It could make your day. If you're collecting or hunting through change, keep these tips in mind. Use a 10x magnifier to spot doubling or other errors. Don't clean old coins, it lowers their value. Store coins in airtight holders or flips to protect them from damage. Consider sending rare finds to PCGS or NGC for grading. The 1984 Liberty USA 1-cent coin might not make you rich overnight, but with so many in circulation, you never know what hidden treasure might turn up. Whether you're a beginner or seasoned collector, always be on the lookout for rare varieties. It's part of the thrill. Liberty USA 1-cent coin from 1988 ***. That's right, the humble Lincoln penny that might just surprise you with its history and potential value. Grab your coin jar and check your collection, because some of these 1988 cents might be worth more than 1 cent, if you know what to look for. The Lincoln cent has been a staple of U.S. coinage since 1909, when it was first introduced to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. The 1988 version of this coin carries forward the Lincoln Memorial design on the reverse, a style introduced in 1959 and used until 2008 in 1988. These coins were produced by 2 mints, the Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark, and the Denver Mint, marked with a D. Let's talk specs. Weight asterisk asterisk, 2.5 grams diameter asterisk asterisk, 19.05 mm composition asterisk asterisk, 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. A change made in 1982 to replace the more expensive solid copper, so if you have a 1988 penny, it's likely zinc with a thin copper plating. Now, let's get to the main question. What's the value of a circulated 1988 Lincoln cent? For most circulated coins, the value remains at face value, 1 cent. That's because millions were made, and they're still easy to find in change. But wait, don't stop watching just yet. Yes, over 12 billion 1988 pennies were minted, making it one of the most common dates. But rare varieties and errors can change everything. There's one major variety you need to watch for. The 1988 Lincoln cent with the 1989 reverse design, known as the reverse of 89 variety. It's a transitional error, where the reverse die from the next year was accidentally used. Some of these rare 1988 reverse of 89 error coins have sold for $25 to over $150, even in circulated condition. Condition matters too. If you've got a shiny uncirculated 1988 penny, especially in mint state grades, MS65 and above, it could be worth up to $5, $15 to collectors, depending on the mint and quality. A coin with a high grade and no scratches, wear, or discoloration can fetch a premium price. Graded examples of the 1988D in MS67 condition have sold for over $100 at auction. If your coin meets one or more of these, don't spend it. Hold on to it, or get it checked by a coin dealer or grading service. To the 1988 Liberty USA 1-cent coin, better known as the Lincoln Memorial Cent, has a rich legacy connected to both American history and the evolution of coin design. Let's take a trip back in time. The Lincoln Cent was first introduced in 1909, designed by Victor David Brenner to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's face. Before that, U.S. coins only showed symbolic figures like Lady Liberty. From 1909 to 1958, the reverse of the coin featured 2 wheat ears, what we call the wheat penny. But in 1959, on the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, the U.S. Mint replaced the wheat design with the Lincoln Memorial. Located in Washington, D.C., the coin's obverse continued to display the iconic bust of Abraham Lincoln, while the new reverse design, by Frank Gasparo, featured the Lincoln Memorial Building with tiny details so fine you can even spot a tiny statue of Lincoln inside it under magnification. Now coming to 1988, this was a high mintage year for the Lincoln Cent. The coin was produced in 2 U.S. mints: Philadelphia Mint ***, no mint mark, Denver Mint ***, D mint mark. Under the date that year, the U.S. Mint struck over 12 billion pennies, making the 1988 Lincoln Cent one of the most common in circulation. However, the 1988 penny holds a special place in numismatic history because of a rare and unusual mistake: the reverse of 89 error. During the minting process, some 1988 coins were accidentally struck using the reverse die intended for 1989, which featured a slightly different engraving of the designer's initials, FG. This rare transitional error has since become one of the most hunted down varieties by collectors. While the 1988 penny might seem ordinary at first glance, it's deeply rooted in American heritage, not only honoring one of the greatest U.S. presidents, but also representing a unique era in the Lincoln Cent series before the major design change in 2009. That's the story behind the 1988 Lincoln Cent, a simple penny with a story that spans over a century. Always check before you spend, because treasure could be hiding in plain sight. If you learned something new today, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap that notification bell so you never miss a coin update from Yamara. And tell us in the comments, have you ever found a rare penny in your change?